Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be talking about some of my 5-star predictions, and I've never actually done one of these videos before, but I kind of just thought about it yesterday and I was like, there's quite a few books that I have been meaning to read or have seen around that I just really think are going to be good books. I will say, when I was doing this, I went through my Goodreads want to read shelf, and I'm kind of surprised how many books are on that shelf that I don't think are going to be 5-star reads, which is kind of sad. But today I'm going to talk about the ones that I think are going to be 5-star reads. So the first book is From the Jump by Lacey Walden. This is the author of The Layover, which if you know me or you follow me on Instagram, you know I am always hyping up that book because I think it is severely underrated. It is, to me, on the level of The Hating Game, and it just doesn't get as much credit. I really loved that one. If you haven't read it, it follows flight attendants who are enemies to lovers, workplace. It's the whole thing. They end up on a tropical island. I think it's Belize or something in that book. I really love that. It's super good. It's got really good banter. This book, though, is her newest release. It's called From the Jump, obviously, and this one, I believe, takes place in South Africa. It's about a woman who basically says yes to everyone all the time, and she finally decides to start saying no. She's a graphic designer, she's overworked, and her college friends are going on this trip, and I guess she's kind of always turned them down in the past because she's maybe busy working or whatever, and she decides this time, she's no, this time I'm going on this trip, and she obviously goes to South Africa with them, and I believe she starts falling for one of the friends on the trip. And I think it's a best friends to lovers kind of thing, because it sort of sounds like they've been, closer than maybe some of the other friends the whole time. And I'm just really excited for this. If you didn't know, Lacey Walden also is, I'm not sure if she still is, but she was at the time of The Layover and actually is a flight attendant. So a lot of her books deal with sort of heavy travel themes, which I really like because obviously it's something that I do a lot of myself and really enjoy. So I really love that sort of aspect of her books as well. So I am so excited to get to this one. I'm hoping it's another 5-star read. I think I gave The Layover 5 stars, so I'm really excited to get to this one. This next book I will probably have read by the time you watch this video, and it is I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy. And I feel like this book has been everywhere lately, and obviously it just released a couple days ago when I'm filming this, and it's been, like I said, everywhere, and she's been doing a ton of press for it. I've seen her literally everywhere on YouTube, on every different news or entertainment station. And this book is sort of interesting to me because I didn't even know this book was being written. I don't know if, was there a lot of publicity for this one? I don't know. I didn't really see anything about this until it was released. And I don't want to say I'm not a Jeanette McCurdy fan, but I was never into iCarly or Sam and Cat or anything like that, so I never have actually seen her in anything. But the more I keep seeing the headlines surrounding this book, the more I'm okay, I kind of want to read this. And now I noticed today, actually just before I started filming this, everyone that I follow on Goodreads has read this book and is talking about how amazing it was. I actually just got a copy of it from my library today, so I'm super excited about that because I actually had a hold on it at a different library and I was number 102 in line, and I was I'm literally never gonna get this book. But I have a copy now, I'm ready to go. I'm either gonna do a reading vlog or a review type video on it, I think, because I think it deserves its own video. So that may actually be up before this video. If it is, I will link it in the description. But I just have really high hopes for this. Like I said, everyone I've seen has been talking about how amazing it is, and like I said, it's not something that I would normally pick up because she's not someone I grew up watching or anything. I was definitely a Disney Channel kid, not really a Nickelodeon kid, but I am still really interested to see sort of what she has to say, I guess. And obviously the headlines coming out of this have been super insane, so sort of seeing her take on that. I know in a lot of interviews she's been saying that all her comments are in the book basically, so I am excited to get to that. I've heard it's kind of hard to read, so I don't know how long it's gonna take me to get through it, but I am really excited for that. I do think it is going to be a 5-star read. I don't read a ton of memoirs, so I think that that's going to be a big one for me. Next is Blindside by Candy Steiner. I have never read a Candy Steiner book, but I have seen this book literally everywhere. It is the second book, I believe, in a companion series, so I do want to read the first one first, which is why I haven't gotten around to this one. This one sounds to me almost I think it's football. I think he's a football player. but it sounds like a football version of The Deal by Elle Kennedy to me. Like, this girl wants to impress this other guy on campus, so she starts like fake dating this football player, I think, and obviously their relationship goes from there. He's trying to make his ex jealous, and it sounds really good. I've seen a lot of reviews from this that were really good as well. Like I said, I've been seeing this literally everywhere. It's been all over my Instagram, all over my YouTube. So I am really excited to get this one. I'm hoping it's a 5-star read for me. I really love The Deal, so I'm hoping like if this even follows like a remotely similar path, I feel like I should like it. I do like fake dating in like a college setting, and so I'm excited to get to this one. Like I said, I have high hopes, so hopefully it's a 5-star read. Next is The Fine Print by Lauren Asher. I feel like everyone's already read this book like a million years ago. I have not read this, and I think part of the reason I have not read this is I have such high hopes for it that I'm scared it's not going to live up to it. But I do think like this has all the potential to be a 5-star read for me because it has everything I could want in a book. This book follows a guy who basically owns the equivalent of like Disneyland. It's Dreamland in the book, and he owns that, and I guess this woman is already working for the company, and she submits this like proposal like really critiquing their most expensive ride, and she thinks she's gonna get fired, but I guess this guy ends up hiring her like as his assistant or something. So they end up spending a ton of time together. He's super rude to her, and I think it's like an enemies to lovers kind of thing. But I like love everything about the premise of this book. If you don't know me like at all, I worked at Disney World a couple years ago because I'm like that obsessed with the theme park, you know, realm. And so I am like, this is gonna be right up my alley. Like, there is not a book that I think is more up my alley than this one will be. And so I am really excited for this one. But like I said, I keep putting it off because I'm so scared it's not gonna live up to like my hype, but I'm hoping it does. Next is The Final Gambit by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is the third book in the Inheritance Games series. This one is not out yet at the time that I'm filming this. I am so excited for this book. I gave the first 2 5 stars, so I'm pretty hopeful that the third one will be 5 stars as well. If you've been following along the series, you know Avery is still living with the Hawthorne boys in the house, and I guess this book follows her last couple weeks there, and based on the synopsis, it sounds like some person shows up that sort of changes everything, and she kind of has to work with the brothers to do another like puzzle. So I just really love these books. I think they're so quick and easy to get into, and I'm really excited to see what the last one has to offer. Next is Bittersweet Heart by Helena Hunting. This is published under H. Hunting. I loved Little Lies, which is the first book in this series. I think you can read them on their own. They're like companion books. They are spin-offs of the Pucked and All-In books though, so if you want to read those, you can read those first and then these. But I loved Little Lies, like I said, gave it 5 stars, absolutely obsessed with it. And so I have like such high hopes for this one. If you know me, you know Helena Hunting is one of my favorite authors of all time. So I am like ridiculously excited. And this is Maverick's book, I'm pretty sure. And he basically decides he's gonna focus on hockey in school and just like get to the NHL, and then he can sort of like goof off. Like he figures like I'll just be serious like till I get to the NHL, like kind of thing. And I guess he is, I assume at a cottage. It doesn't actually say that in the synopsis, but I'm guessing he's at a cottage, and it says this woman just like floats up to his cottage, and he decides, well, like what's one last hookup, you know, like before school starts, like I'll just like go for it and then I'll be serious afterwards. So he hooks up with this woman and thinks like, okay, I won't really see her, like whatever, move on. And she ends up being one of his college professors. So this is going to be like teacher-student, obviously, but it's a little bit different because the girl is the teacher, which I feel like doesn't happen all that often. But I'm just like so excited for this. Like if anyone could do this well, it would be Helena Hunting, because I am obsessed with her hockey books, and like I said, Little Lies was just so like ridiculously good that I am so excited for this book. Like so excited. I'm like pretty sure it's gonna be 5 stars for me. Next is the Mindfuck series by St. Abbey. This is like one that I've been seeing around a lot, one that I didn't really think I was going to be interested in, and I'm going to be totally honest here, I didn't think I'd be interested in it based on the cover. It just didn't look like something I would normally pick up. But the reviews I've seen for this have all been amazing. I have not seen anyone give this less than 5 stars, and it sounds like it's about a female serial killer that ends up dating the FBI agent who is investigating her crimes, basically. And that just sounds like really crazy to me, and honestly like super good. So I'm really excited to get into this series. It sounds really crazy, but also like just like really different, and I really love that because obviously like I read a ton of romance, so like anything that's a little bit out there is right up my alley. And so I'm really excited to try this one. I've never read anything by this author before, so like there's always like a little bit of iffiness with that. But like I said, I've seen so many good reviews for this one that my hopes are high. Lastly is Some Kind of Perfect by Krista and Becca Ritchie. I literally have no idea what this book is about other than that is the epilogues for the Addicted and Calloway Sisters series, which I'm currently working my way through at the moment. I am on Addicted After All, which is the last book in the Addicted series, and then I think there's 2 or 3 more Calloway Sisters books I have to read, and then maybe there's 3 including Some Kind of Perfect. So I don't know specifically what this book is about. I know it's the epilogues, like I said, but I just have a feeling that like by the time I get there, it's gonna be all like nostalgic almost, like, and I'm just gonna love it. So I have a feeling, even though I know nothing about it, that it's gonna be 5 stars just because I do really love the characters in these books. I took a big like gap between Thrive and Addicted After All, and I found after reading like, you know, 20 other books, coming back to those same characters was so nice. Like I just like, you know, fell right back in with them, and I really liked that sort of like vibe that the books have. So that was definitely something that I really enjoyed, and I'm excited to see that, you know, sort of all come together. And so those are my 5-star predictions for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below. I do new book videos every single week, and I'll see you next time.